Hey, this is Ish, and in today's talk, I'll be going over how to be charismatic as an introvert. Now, I made a previous talk on charisma, specifically going over the extroverted style. And in that video, I went over the facets of extroversion and how extroverts tend to uh, display a lot of warmth and positive emotions, and they tend to be gregarious and larger than life. So that type of charisma, how it shows in their behaviors, is a bit more larger than life. It's an energy that spreads outwards. It's very loud. It draws a lot of attention. It's kind of like a sunlight that just goes bam outwards. And I think a lot of people associate that style of charisma to be what charisma is. But in fact, introverts also display a different signature of charisma, which I'll talk about in this talk. And if you're more introverted naturally, you can learn how to step into this style of charisma and embody what you naturally are, rather than trying to embody this fake, loud, warm, extroverted style of communicating with others. So I first like to say that as an introvert, you actually have some very natural gifts of charisma already within you. And these are certain qualities you can naturally step into. So what are these? As an introvert, you naturally prefer solitude and get your energy from more reflective activities and looking inwards. And how this can be seen as charismatic is that you can take more pauses in conversations, you can relax more, and you don't have to do or try as much in a social interaction. Because one of the facets of extroversion is activity levels. So extroverts tend to do more, just more on average. So they tend to talk with their hands more, they express more, they're talking a mile a minute. You can notice I do that all the time. But the opposite of that is that introverts tend to conserve their energy more. But this is actually a hallmark of very powerful and charismatic individuals. They don't spill out their emotions all the time. They only use the energy when it's needed. And this actually makes introverts seem more powerful and grounded because their energy seems more rooted within them. Now, how do you practically, do this or practice this? So there are two things you can do. The first is to start a meditation practice if you haven't already. And I talk about this all the time on my channel. But when you are in meditation, you're learning to be comfortable with silence, of doing a lot less, and just being okay with just being still. Now, when this effect of your practice spills over in your social interaction, you will notice that you simply do less and you try less. One of the, issues that a lot of extroverts face is that they can tend to fall into people-pleasing behavior sometimes because they tend to value the feedback from the group all around them. So they're a bit more dependent on social feedback and validation compared to introverts. Obviously, it's a bit of a generalization, but you get what I'm trying to say here. But as an introvert, you can learn to be comfortable in your own energy and not look outwards or have your energy reach outwards. And when you do this, you'll actually be seen as more charismatic and more powerful within yourself. And this leads me to my next point of you can also practice not trying. So not trying to energetically reach, but be comfortable in your own skin. So what this will practically look like is that when you're in a conversation, you don't try to fill in the gaps or just try to force something out because you feel this urge to say something or appease someone or just try to smooth over the conversation. Instead, what you can do is you can lay back, be comfortable, and only say something if you really want to say something. And when you do this, you'll actually be the anchor of a conversation because you're able to be firmly rooted and you can be the still point in which the conversation revolves around. So it's a different charismatic style. So instead of having your energy out and engaging everyone, which is more the extroverted style that reaches out, it's kind of like a sun that shines out. Instead, you can embody this energy of a very still mountain or tree, which is equally charismatic in the sense that it's grounded, powerful, and still. And it allows others to orbit around you. So you're, again, expending less energy, effort, but you're still tapping into a very powerful, charismatic style of being grounded and doing less and appearing more powerful by simply by the virtue of doing less in a conversation and in interaction, but at the same time also being very comfortable and relaxed, which is very powerful. Another core strength that introverts naturally possess is that they are internally validated and also at the same time can give this appearance of being unreactive. So one of the weaknesses of extroverts is we tend to wear our emotions on our sleeve all the time. So a lot of our how we're feeling tends to spill out a lot. But introverts tend to be a bit more emotionally contained, maybe even this mysterious vibe, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, how this shows up in interaction is that since you're not doing as much, you're more contained, and you're reacting less to the environment. This can actually make you be perceived as more confident because you are the center of the focal point, rather than your attention going outwards. And because you're not reacting to the world and instead you're more contained, others will actually see you as more confident. So, how interesting is that? Because as introverts, you may have read online that introverts are seen as less confident or less socially out there. But in reality, if you can embody this energy of being still, of not reacting as much, it actually makes you appear more confident. And you can really look at this if you watch any TV show of someone who is like a leader or a very strong character. You'll notice that they have almost a icy or stoic effect in their demeanor, where they're not uh, reacting to things. I know a very classic example is James Bond, how James Bond just has this cool, calm, collected demeanor. This is because, again, he is not reacting to the world, but rather he is more emotionally contained. So, this is another archetype of what introverts can step into. Now, the next strength that introverts can tap into is their natural mysteriousness. So, introverts really don't feel a need to just talk about everything, like spill everything out. As extroverts, we tend to spill everything out on our thoughts, how we feel about things. We're just always talking, so everything is out there. But the drawback of this is that you don't leave any room for mystery. So mystery happens when people are starting to wonder and start to fill in the gaps of what they think of you. So they can ascribe very positive qualities to you if you're also displaying other positive qualities, when you're not revealing everything. So it makes people wonder, makes people think, what is this person all about? So if you are in a social interaction, you're engaging with everyone, but you're not spilling everything out, you contain things, like I mentioned, other people start to wonder, who is this person? What are they up to? And it makes people also chase you a bit more rather than you trying to reach again, which is what I talked about earlier. So, if you implement all these natural strengths within you as an introvert of being still, of being grounded, of doing less, of trying less, of being a bit mysterious or a bit aloof, you actually notice that you'll start to draw other people into your world rather than you reaching out. And you can still be as equally powerful as an extrovert, but again, it's a different style. So instead of your energy going out, it's more inwards and you can still draw people into you. In a way, it's kind of like a gravitational pull where you become an anchor and other people are just or a magnet and other people are getting pulled in towards you. So I want you to start practicing these techniques and mindsets and the way of being in your next social interaction. So when you go out, start practice this, and let me know in the comments how this has shown up for you. I know when I've taught this for many of my introverted friends, they reported that they feel very light and because they don't have to try as much, and they can actually be comfortable in who they are instead of trying to be something that they're not and trying to live up to this extroverted ideal. No, instead you can actually be an introvert, and this can be as equally powerful. So hope this helps. Thank you.